Are there different stages to the disease,
Yes.
Alzheimer's? And what are those stages?
Well, absolutely. There's, early stages, moderate, and late. And so in the early stages, that's when you're starting to notice things. And it's a really good time to seek out information and education, because your thought process is still working pretty well and you can remember some things. Maybe you're starting to write things down to remember better. But it's a good time to begin to plan and let people know what you would like, how you would like your life to proceed, and who do you want to provide for care, settling a power of attorney for financial matters and a power of attorney for medical and advance directives. Those are all very important matters, and while you're still quite alert, you're in a position to do that.
Everyone or anyone who enters into that first stage of dementia or memory loss, is it automatic that they will go to a next stage?
Yes. If you are diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it is a progressive disease. It is the brain cells die, and it progressively gets worse.
So that first stage, if I've been diagnosed in the first stage of Alzheimer's, I will enter the second stage. And what is that second stage?
Well, then it's more difficult. You sometimes may not remember that you're in your own home, even though you've lived there for 30 years. Sometimes persons will say, it seems pretty common across the board, they will ask to go home. In one case, a family decided that, all right, it was in another state. So they made a plan to take this person to their home from childhood. Person had no recollection of it. That's not really what they wanted. Now, I've had some explanations, and I think one of the ones that I've liked to hang on to a bit is that when we're ill or uncomfortable, we want to go home. We want to be comfortable. We have a sense of security about it. We feel safe. What we advise clients then to do is don't start explaining. You've lived here for 30 years, you bought this house, and you and Dad picked it out, or what have you. Instead, just comfort them. Mom, you're safe. There'll always be somebody to take care of you, and then perhaps distraction works well.
Okay.
So then that becomes another stage where they're not sure where they are.
The first stage and the second stage of the Alzheimer's disease and the third stage, briefly describe what's entailed in the third stage.
Well, depending on, as I said, if they don't have other medical problems and their physical health is pretty good, and the Alzheimer's is really taking its toll. And keeping in mind that the stages really vary per person, and so some of the things are not just, there's no set course for it. And so then persons become confused as to where they are and how they got there. Even if they're in their own home, they're not sure where they've been going. In the later stages, if they're doing a lot more sleeping, sometimes it affects their swallowing, so that eating becomes very difficult. They don't remember how to brush their teeth. You may have to stand side by side with them and show them how to do that. It may become where you have to do it for them.